Hello, today is 27th January. We are having a MicroProfile technical discussion. Please help out with the minutes. Let me share my screen share. Is we have a short agenda. We see the how it goes. This the first is the MicroProfile 7.2 release. I think the timeline. I had a brief discussion with John. John and I will come together and work out a plan. I think is will need to be in the second half of the year. I think. So based on the implementations and the work needed on this. Any feedback or concerns, something like that? Thank you, John. The content-wise, OpenAPI confirmed, and telemetry also confirmed. JWT, I did do the follow-up with Sergey, and he's happy to do the second half of the year. He had a concern if it's the first half of the year, he won't be able to do it. So this is worked out nicely. The other thing is the GPMS. GPMS is we will do most specs with some exceptions for the deprecated specs. Nobody want to use it, such as open tracing. And also for the standalone specs, depending on the usage and etc. I think is yeah, we can go from there. For other specs, I don't plan to do any major or minor update. They can directly do service release, micro release. For config, for tolerance, REST client. 1, 2, 3. Health. So Martin, you said last time you don't plan to do update for health, correct?
Yeah, correct. I will just do.
Okay, thank you. So this is this will be this see manner update. Is GPMS support. Okay, so that's the rough plan for the 7.2. Are there any other comments?
Would we target? I should know this, and I'm sorry that I don't. Are we on 11 yet? EE 11?
We are trying to. This is a good question. So we are going to run with E11. I think when for Liberty, we definitely will make sure it should work. The MicroProfile 7.2 should work with E11. If it does not, we need to do the fix to make sure it will work with the E11. Let me write down here. Should be.
So we want it to be compatible with EE 10 or 11? Is that the?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question, Ed. I was going to bring that up. It's a discussion within IBM as well.
At the moment, some specs are compatible with E9 still, which is an issue.
it's an issue that that they don't run on 10 or 11, or what's the issue here?
They run on 10. 11 is not tested officially, as far as I know. But the dependencies that could be used are, for example, a CDI version with circular dependencies that we fixed in EE10 partly and in 11 completely, as far as I remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure the claim is correct or not. And definitely we will run against E11. I think that's the runtime and also the application compilation should work. At this moment in time, I don't see any blockers to be able to run against the E10 and E12. Okay, John.
Especially, yeah, sorry, John.
Yeah, what does should be mean? Because we have to
Maybe we
have
should
an
ask.
implementation, past the TCK with EE10 if we were to do that. So that means somebody would have to step up and be a compatible implementation for EE10.
I will prefer we do the both E10 and E11.
So who's going to be the compatible implementations for those if it's the second half of next year?
Yeah, so it should be one compatible implementation. It could be the same one with E10. One compatible with E11. Or could it be the same one? At least. Very good.
So the MicroProfile 7 preamble in the spec says it requires E10 core profile or higher.
Yeah,
Well, it
that's a
doesn't say or
minimum.
higher. Well, it just says dependency on Jakarta E10 core profile.
I
Right. And
think
so I guess I'm trying to, so if a spec is still compatible with Jakarta E9.1, does that mean it did not meet that compatibility bar? Or is it just
it's
I'm trying to understand the, the
I
comment made earlier.
the if you want to do the compatible implementation with E11, it should be accepted because the spec says minimum is E10 and is a minimum is E10 is if you just to go with E11, that's fine. Does that answer your question? Does that answer your
So I think we
question?
need to change the text in the
Oh,
architecture.adoc file that's under microprofiles, that cover the umbrella spec, right? So because at best it's confusing about whether it's a required dependency for E10 or not. I know we've discussed that in the past, and now I think it sounds like we want to further augment that and say EE10 or EE11. Is that fair?
we can.
The desire is to run to be able to run with either one. Yes.
Yeah. The desire
Okay.
is to be able to run either ones. I think it's a 4.7 when 7 was 7.01 even released. At that time, E11 was not out yet. It's so this
Right.
is difficult to say before it's finally
Lots
released.
of hands up, and I didn't even put my hand up. I just blurted out. So
Yeah.
anyway,
James was first.
James first. James.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Wildfly is already running the latest MicroProfile TCKs with EE11, and we haven't seen any issues. But the issue did come up of whether that we can claim compliance or not once we're ready for EE11 with these, because I believe the spec said something specifically about EE10, not something like EE10 or greater or something to that effect.
Yeah, so I would encourage us to, or someone to review that umbrella spec and take a look at the language and try to figure out how to correct it
Yeah,
to whatever it is we want it to say.
Yeah, I'll look at that because this question came up within IBM as well, right? And I think, James, you were probably on that list.
Yeah.
So we do need to clarify the language as of right now. I have another question, but I'll wait my turn.
So the next one is Yan. Yan.
Yeah, it would be great if we can ensure when we do the component spec releases to run them against an EE10 and EE11 implementation to make sure that both can be supported and we don't figure out that when we do final testing on the umbrella spec. And I think the umbrella spec has the minimum requirement of E10 already, while some of the component specs, still supporting a 9 version. Especially, I think it's 9.0 in the case of config, when I'm right. That lacks a lot of maintenance in the past because we plan to move it to Jakarta. And that should be fixed. And that means we need to update the parent MicroProfile parent implementation to support these two variants and upgrade it where that is missing.
I don't follow the parent thing. You know, if you have a minimum of E10, you really only need to compile against the E10. You need to run against E11.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure I was understanding right.
Yeah. But we have a parent POM implementation that supports different Jakarta E core profile editions.
Okay.
And you need to choose the right version to support the correct ones.
Okay.
And yeah, if we need to fix something, then it's a little bit tricky to maintain the older version of that parent POM if necessary.
Okay, if anybody have any issues, feel free to raise a detailed issue. At this point in time, I don't see any problems with supporting E11 or E10 be compatible with E11 and E10 or E10. Okay, John. So
So now that we have EE11 in there, do we need to make this a major release, or because we support EE10 as well, can this continue to be a minor release?
No, minor release. And also in the past for the spec, we said also it's loosely coupled with the EE. So it's the customer bring in their EE. We said minimum is E10. If we need to revisit the spec, if as Ed said, we only said E10, we should just say E10. Also mention E11. It should work. Because do you remember the API do not package the EE APIs anymore?
It's provided now, yeah.
Yeah, provided.
So do we think the language should be specific, EE10 or EE11? Or should the language be EE10 or greater, which can imply additional future?
My personal opinion is EE10 or greater, because when EE12 comes out, we're going to have the same conversation again.
Not necessarily. It depends.
Yeah, it does depend, but I'm just saying that, like, I mean, there's definitely a
Yeah.
potential for the same conversation.
The thing is, we need to vigorously review before we say it will work with EE12. For example, the config change, no, the config CDI change, or some underlying or the APIs we used have breaking change. That's in EE12. That surely it won't work with EE12. I will prefer we will clearly document this will work with EE10, EE11 because of that. Otherwise, if we do so we do not cap, and we do not know what will happen in the future. Okay, Yan.
Yeah, I agree. At the moment, we can only test EE10 and 11 and make sure that the compatibility is met. We cannot promise it will be in the future compatible with EE12 until it's tested. And maybe we don't have to do anything, or there could be a lot of work necessary to met that, and therefore it's better to declare only what we can ensure.
I think it's a very good point.
Yeah, it does make sense.
That's it for me on the 7.2 release.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Does anybody know details about the patching on the config spec that is planned compared to what we discussed 2 weeks ago? What might need to be done on config to prepare it for potential move to Jakarta, for example, splitting up the package into 2 parts. That's not part of the MP 7.2 release, as the current plan says, right?
Correct. Even furthermore, I would like to see the concrete plan and for what need to be changed, and also what's the plan in Jakarta. So I don't think MicroProfile can go ahead to do something. Eventually, it's been rejected by Jakarta, and then the work is a complete waste. I think we should have a plan first. I mean, Jakarta or file a plan for MicroProfile to make a change or take it from there before there's a concrete requirement and also agreement. I don't think any meaningful outcome will come out. Just people thinking, oh, this might be acceptable, that acceptable. I think it's better to have concrete requirement and then discuss, and then if 2 parties agreed, and then make a change, can go from there. Did you say, yeah, you want to draw up a plan?
Yes.
Make any progress with that?
Yeah, and in the Jakarta platform meeting, I said it might be an idea to discuss that in Jakarta E future directions. And Michael filed that as a topic for the 5th of February. I am a little bit out of the loop what he was planning there. I need to check that because I have a severe email issue the domain from iJug was moved, and sometimes I can receive emails, but it was even hard to join the meeting because of the two-factor authentication that was required by Zoom to get that code forwarded. And I cannot write at the moment to the email addresses, unfortunately. So I need to check that. But yeah, having a discussion on the 5th of February might be very helpful to see how a transition of MicroProfile config to Jakarta might happen, or the complete MicroProfile spec set, moving it to Jakarta. But the focus, as far as I remember, was discussing the config topics there with MicroProfile people in the best case and Jakarta people, like we did it in the past in the CN4J sessions. As that is not existing anymore, maybe Jakarta Future Directions might be a good way to discuss these things.
So your topic, the topic you're going to focus is about config, correct?
On that meeting, Michael filed it on that day. I need to make sure if he is expecting that I prepare a presentation until that. But yeah, at least we will have a discussion on that topic on that day, as far as I could see on the Jakarta meeting today, on the minutes. And I think he scheduled that already.
Yeah, so
let me check.
Yeah, maybe it was well for you to share if you produce anything to share with the MicroProfile community as well, if it's involved in MicroProfile.
Yeah, hopefully I have right access to the mailing list soon again.
Because,
otherwise I need to forward it to somebody of you.
Yeah.
You need to
So I don't know whether the meeting was recorded, because not everybody be able to attend the call. Maybe it's again after you presented there and come back here to MicroProfile to discuss in the MicroProfile group. I think it's worthwhile to wait for the discussion to happen before we take a pen and to do all the work, and eventually the work is not accepted, and then waste the people's time.
Doing a MicroProfile minor release independently of that outcome makes sense. As Roberta said, if we split up the config into two parts, a CDI dependent and an independent part, as a preparation for that transition, that will be a major release, and then we need to do a major release for the umbrella spec too. So that's a different story then,
Yeah, even the split I will put on hold because if the two communities do not agree, if the split is for Jakarta usage, if Jakarta don't use it, or MicroProfile community disagree, I don't think it'll go anywhere. So anyway, I think since it's not in the distant future, and the discussion will happen, and then maybe there's a better idea with that discussion, and can go from there. But in the meanwhile, anyways, could work on the minor micro release for config and for this, at least these 4 specs, and then it's keep on making progress on other specs. Okay, I will write down here. So Ian will present. Is your focus is the config discussion, right? At the Jakarta intro.
Yeah, that was what Michael
What's the title?
Put on the meeting minutes today.
Which day? 5th which
5th of February.
which is
It's a
just
Thursday.
next week.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, I'm sorry, I'm interjecting. I'm looking at the Jakarta calendars. It looks like the meeting reminder for that ended last December and it needs to be re-updated. So I slacked Tanya. I'm hoping she can find whoever's responsible for managing the calendar entry on that and getting it updated. Normally or traditionally it was at 9 a.m. on Thursdays.
In which time zone?
Pacific time, I apologize.
Pacific, okay.
Okay. So what time? What time?
9 a.m. Pacific time zone.
9 a.m.
That's the last, that was when the meeting reminder
The
ended. I don't,
CET
PDT, PST,
or,
right?
or PST, Pacific time. Okay. Okay, sounds good. It's just next week. I think it's anyway. So if you present it on next week, maybe it's in the next the technical call, you can come here to do the report again.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes. So this is good. Are there any other things that people want to discuss? If not, let's quickly review the program plan. So maybe it's in the live hangout. I think John, we need to look at this, the marketing ones. So this is technical goals. So it's maybe it's we also need to start thinking about new specs. I think also internal there's some other folks talking about a converter spec. Maybe we should do some prototype on this one. So the other things we need to follow up with Sergey about JWT bridge. So because we put this on hold later last year, is had a very lengthy conversation with the move. But now is everything back to normal again? We need to revisit this spec. And also this one, the MicroProfile AI is need to do a more update. So this group now is under launching 4G. So the repo is launching 4G-CDI. Launching 4G. So it's the 1.0 release has been done. Has a lot examples, demonstrations. It works with Quarkus, Helidon, Wildfly, Payara, Glassfish, and Liberty. So this is quite nicely represented by the different runtimes. Working with the different runtimes is. So this is a good effort for that. So and then this is for the program plan. Also need to look at adding some other config features. So John, you created all the issues for this, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm digging around where I put it. Hold on. I think I
In the
have it in the
meantime,
last.
In the meantime, when you go back to slide number 2, I think.
Slide number 2. Yeah.
Oh, then it was 3, sorry.
3 goals.
Deliver MicroProfile 7.2
There we
now,
go.
right?
Yeah, true.
I'm
Oh,
looking.
no, this is to the tutorial.
Ah, okay, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
then I looked at. Oh.
Yeah.
But for
Okay.
the whole year, then we want to add both versions, right?
Say that again, for the whole year?
For 2026, we want to update the tutorial to 7.1 and 7.2.
Yeah, if we have money. So
That's still a paid position. We don't want to maintain it by ourselves now.
yeah, we can maintain by ourselves, I think. It's because I think it's the Turan did all the groundwork. It should be quite straightforward to do that. But we can add we don't need to rely on external body to do the update. We can do it ourselves. That's a good point. I don't know for this anyway. I think it's for that issue we can add to that issue. We can add additional issue for MicroProfile for marketing goals. So John is
I added the Git issues to the meeting minutes.
Oh, thank you.
So basically, I took last year's Git issues, updated them with the title 2026 instead of 2025. In a few cases, I can't remember which issues. I updated the language a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, we can update this. And then I don't know whether the gaps with the Spring Framework. So last time, I don't know, Emerson, we need to double check with Emerson.
Yeah, I think that started out, I think, with Reza, and then
Oh,
Emerson took
Reza.
over.
Oh,
Then
yes.
Emerson took over last year.
Yeah.
And if we don't make any progress on it, understanding the gap is okay. Creating a spec just to create a spec because it's a gap, that's
Yeah.
we'll come around that when we find a gap, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, this is nice. It said, do we need to support Java modules? Yes. And here is we need to add Java 25 to work with MP 7.2. Yeah, it should work with others anyway. So we don't. So this is the infrastructure. So this, and then the alignment. So this is what mentioned. So for that conversation. So that's why we need to revisit. I will double check with Sergey regarding this one to see what's next. With that, I think that's all we have. Anything else people want to bring up for further discussion? Okay, if not, you have 20 minutes back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.